Today I am going to talk about the haka and how this dance ties together both sports and religion. But first I want to explain how and where the haka originated. The haka originates from the Maori people, an indigenous group located in New Zealand. The dance was used by the Maori people as a war cry to intimidate enemies. However, now the haka has become a more prominent dance. It is most commonly performed by the New Zealand All Blacks, a professional rugby team. They perform this dance prior to every match they play. So, why does a rugby team of all things practice this old tradition? Well, first off, the violent nature of rugby can be compared to a war scenario, which is what the Maori people used the haka for, as I previously explained. So, in a way, it is a way to pay heritage to their past, which is religious in nature. But more than that, it shows unison from the team. The discipline and passion these athletes must display while doing the haka is intense. They all move in unison, showing off perfect synchronization while chanting, stomping their feet, and slapping their thighs. In most religions, many ceremonies are also performed in groups with people chanting songs and dancing, and I think that this togetherness and sense of camaraderie is apparent in religions as well as the haka tradition. I also believe that the haka is a religious exchange between the New Zealand All Blacks and their ancestors. The words they chant at the beginning of the haka translate to I die, I live, which I believe are words that the warriors and now the athletes exchange for power and strength. Before entering a battle, such as a rugby match, I believe the All Blacks psychologically receive more strength by performing the haka. I also think the All Blacks are a hierophany for the haka. We define this term in class as a manifestation of the sacred. And just as the monks of Mount Iei are a living representation of Buddha, I believe the All Blacks are a living representation of the Maori people in the haka. This is a dance that has continued a legacy of the Maori people and is being used to honor people not only in times of joy like a wedding, but also in times of sadness such as after the mass shooting that took place in New Zealand in 2019. And these two events, weddings and funerals that this dance is now performed at, inherently have some religious connection to them. Whether that be a priest or rabbi performing the ceremony, for example, showing another connection the haka has to religion. Lastly, I want to talk about the sacred aspect of the haka. The haka is not just a dance that is performed for fun. Rather, it is usually performed somewhere sacred, such as the stadium for the All Blacks, or a chapel for weddings and funerals. For this reason, I believe the haka to be a sacred religious dance that has found its place in sports, specifically rugby, ultimately showing the inherent connection between religion and sports. For all these reasons, I believe the haka is one of the best examples of religion in sports. However, this is not the only sport religion is prevalent in. Rather, all sports most likely have an aspect about them that is inherently religious.